Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to the honorable adjudicator, timekeeper, and the opponents. I am Gharizah Ligar Sandri from SMAN Situbondo, and I will be the first speaker for this motion, and I am the opposition team. So, this motion, this house prefer the strategy of pushing for institutional reform to address police abuse and misconduct rather than defunding the police. Today's police are tasked with responding to a vast variety of social issues and crises, from homelessness to mental illness. Yet, they are often not trained to handle such tasks on the daily basis. Our side, as the opposition, opposed to the idea from the proposition team, as their argument was, if we defund the police, there will be a high crime rate. This is proof wrong. As we know, even in the remotest area in the world, high crime rate is a result from collapsing economy, which made people to race to do other crime. And as such, reforming the institution will not make any differences at all, since the root of the problem is not the police itself, but the economy and other things, such as the society and etc. etc. Our side, as the proposition team, will present you a few of our arguments on this matter. First, defunding the police doesn't mean that we took away all of their funding and all of their equipment, and as such made the police to be understaffed. But we will divest their budget into something else, such as education and healthcare. And then by doing so, we can eradicate what is the root of the problem, and that is, for today's motion, is racism. If we invest on schools and social education, racism will not exist anymore, and as such will not make any prejudice to a minority or other group. Police brutality made by racism nowadays, and then, as I said earlier, by defunding the police and then using this fund to do a seminar or learning about racism will make the problem go away. Mike Harris from USA says, divesting funds can begin the process of ending the culture of punishment in the criminal justice system. To explain why he supports the idea, Isaac Bryan, the director of UCLA's Black Policy Center, points to history that law enforcement are made in the South began as slave patrol. When slavery no longer existed, they used a disproportionately forced use against a minority, such as the black people in the USA. Which is why cases such as George Floyd existed and has started to rise nowadays. And on our second argument, reforming police is useless due to the fact that society think that the police has failed their matters. Especially black minority people believe that police will make a prejudice towards them, and as such, using camera on their work, as the proposition team said, will breach their work privacy, and will not be as effective as it was before. And that moves on our third argument. Reforming with a more elaborate police officer as the proposition team, in which he said that the team will consist of many race and culture different people. And this will not change the racism, since there will be a stigma even on those diverse races, such as blacks are criminals, Asians are great, white are corrupt, and etc. This will bring us back to the root of the problem, that is racism toward a group or minority. But our solution on these matters is that we should defund the police, but we use those funding that we have defunded from the police on somewhere else. And as I said earlier, such as the education and the healthcare environment, but we prefer to spend those on education. Why? Because education will improve our mentality, and education has proven to be more effective on revolutionizing our mentality, race equality and equality, and that makes the root of the problem will be diminished, and this all would not be happening. And so I think that's all from our argument. I am Gharizah Ligar from SMAN Situbondo. Thank you for listening, and see you.